So this is the second frame. Had he arrived more than 15 minutes late, he would have been docked another frame.
Touching ball.
I've got some sympathy with Robertson this morning because of the fog, but he does have quite a long record of late arrivals and mishaps. I remember he was due to play in Llandudno and got on the wrong train from Cambridge, which was going in the wrong direction. And arrived in the nick of time for the second match, only because the first match was longer than expected. Then he was playing in the Premier League at Preston and thought, well, I'll go early, give myself time for a rest and a lie down. Unfortunately, he only allowed just over 2 hours to get from Cambridge to Preston, which anybody with any knowledge of English geography would know is pitifully inadequate, and in fact only arrived about 3 minutes before the Premier League was due on air. The important thing is how he plays once he does arrive.
One.
Fluke for Dott.
Graeme Dott. 1.
It's odd really, because Robertson partly attributed not so much his defeat but his poor performance in the Masters semi-final to driving himself to Alexandra Palace instead of getting a friend to do so.
A foul and a miss. Graeme Dott. 4.
It was rather a tortuous journey, and although he arrived in fairly good time, his mind was a bit scrambled, and he said he felt flat for the match.
Mm.
Anyway, Robertson fails to escape from that snooker. Oh. Well, short range, even with the long tackle. He'd be disappointed to have missed that.
One. 7.
Helpful that the pink has had to be replaced on the blue spot.
8.
Played at that pace, was always going to have red to right middle if he had nothing else.
$15.
Still 2 or 3 possible reds. No overwhelming need to go into the bunch again.
Uh, 21. $22. $28. $29. $35. $36.
Only 3 reds in the cluster. Does he go in now or play on another open red?
$42.
Tried to open the cluster.
$43.
Very happy with how that's turned out. He was playing to cannon the black and red, but look how he's finished, perfectly on the pink. Very long bridge.
$50.
Despite the long bridge, managed to push the cue through straight.
$51. 58. 59.
After this black, we'll need another red and colour to clinch the frame. And this time the cue ball
66.
was slid off the cluster to leave a missable red.
$67.
Very good.
$74. 75.
Well, despite his late arrival, Robertson has settled immediately into the groove.
$82. 83.
Judd Trump, I can tell you, is leading Matthew Stevens by a frame to nil over on table 1.
$90. 91.
Has left an angle on the pink from which he can develop the last red, but has missed the cannon.
97.
Long odds now on a century.
97 and the frame, Neil Robertson.
But 97 enables Neil Robertson quickly to level the match. Only 12 minutes play needed after conceding the opening frame for late arrival. As in the opening frame, the red has immediately come against the black, thus ruling it out of commission. Good long red from Dott, who has been in 3 World Championship finals, winning 1.
Four. Five.
In fact, Dott's most recent appearance in a world final was in 2010 against Neil Robertson. Very long match. Finished very late, not least because the scheduling dictated a late start time
10.
for the final session.
Eleven. Thirteen.
Went into the bunch partly in the hope of developing the pink. He has done so to some extent, but it's still far from ideal.
14.
And the black is still tied up.
Nineteen. 20.
Still having to rely on the blue.
$25. 26. 31. 32. 37. 37.
That was just off straight, and in attempting to force back for the blue, he put it onto the far jaw, trying to manufacture an angle. Bad miss though.
1.
Meanwhile, Robertson fails to develop the pink to a better position.
6. 7.
I don't know whether he's quite got the angle to do it, but if he had, a possibility would be to pot the blue, bounce the cue ball off the black cushion, develop the pink and still finish on the red nearest the right corner. As I suspected.
12.
He hadn't got the angle.
Thirteen.
He hasn't got it this time either.
Sixteen. 17.
Not back far enough to take blue to middle.
Neil Robertson, 17.
And although Robertson is usually pretty reliable on that sort of blue, he's missed that one and allowed Dott back to the table, still holding a lead of 20 points.
One.
Needed to make the cannon more on the right hand side of the red. With cue ball and black so close together and at that angle, the black is highly missable.
One, Graeme Dott.
Too thick. Needed to be thinner to get the cue ball back behind the black.
One. Eight. Nine.
Frame ball then, in that it would leave Robertson needing a snooker.
Sixteen. Graeme Dott, 16.
But it is only one snooker. really close enough to the yellow to pose a problem.
Foul. Neil Robertson 6, frame Graeme Dott.
So, trying to find the thin edge of the red, Robertson clips the pink instead and conceives the frame forthwith. The tricky cut fails. It was played as a shot to nothing, returning the cue ball to the baulk cushion if the red didn't go in. Dott's reply, designed to prevent Robertson attempting red to middle. The big deep screw fails. Red to left corner much tougher than it would have been had the cue ball cannoned the yellow, which it almost did.
One.
The sort of shot no player likes. The pot was missable, and therefore there was every chance of leaving opponent right in if the pot was missed, and even if the pot was potted, There was no guarantee whatsoever of position. Oh.
Foul. Graeme Dott 1, Neil Robertson 4.
Well, couldn't have intended the standard half ball in off billiard shot. Would have been intending to leave the cue ball in the jaws of the baulk pocket. Couldn't be sure where all the reds were going to finish, although Robertson did achieve his primary objective of getting the cue ball back tight on the baulk cushion. Bit lucky in the end not to leave the red which came back into baulk. Don't think that's left anything worth going for. choice of shot which tells me that the red won't go past the green to the left-hand baulk pocket. Although on screen, it looks as if it would.
One.
And indeed has, so a very puzzling choice of shot from Dott.
Five. Six. Yep.
That was a kick, but for which the cue ball would have recoiled a few more inches. Still an easy hold on pink for middle. And position on his next red.
12. $13. $18. 19. $25.
Two more reds tickled into better positions.
$26.
Has misjudged that one though. May not be too difficult if the pink is straightish to far corner, which it appears to be.
Neil Robertson.
Well,
26.
You'll have heard the gasp from Robertson, which would seem to indicate that the pink pulled into the side cushion.
1.
The shot was, of course, being played against the nap. On these modern championship tables, there isn't a great deal of nap, it's true, but sometimes it has an effect.
Six. A 7. $12. $13.
Positional cannon, developing another red, knowing that he was going to have a shot at either blue or pink. Oh, he So
Graeme Dott,
disappointed.
30.
From that range, Dott would have regarded that more or less a certainty.
1. Seven. 8.
'Big shot required here for position.
12. 14.
Robertson would have much preferred the second red to stay in the vicinity of the pocket rather than drop in.
$20.
Still has to pot this tricky red to leave Dott needing a snooker.
Neil Robertson, 20.
Whereas an easy colour from the second red that dropped in would have made it much easier for Robertson to clinch the frame at that visit.
Oh dear.
Well, horrible kick. And the effect of it is that it's not going to be that easy for Dott to lay
White clean.
a snooker behind the black, which was probably going to be his next shot. Needed to leave the cue ball at an angle on the red.
8. Graeme Dott, 8.
That's one way to lay a snooker.
Foul and a miss. Neil Robertson, 4.
And it couldn't be a much easier frame ball for Robertson.
One and the frame.
As soon as the red went
Yeah.
in, Dott conceded. The score is 2-all. Robertson's safety was overhit. But Dott couldn't take advantage. It's just a matter of run of the ball, really. The Dott happens to have left that red, having jawed it and missed it.
1. Five. 6. 13. 14. 21. 22.
'End of break.
29. Touching ball.
Somewhat unfortunately, because he hit the bunch crisply enough.
Touching ball. Neil Robertson, 29.
From the touching ball, could put the cue ball virtually where he wanted on the baulk cushion. But maybe he shouldn't have put it there. Good pot from Dott, but hasn't finished at a friendly angle on any low value colour as regards continuing the break.
Graeme Dott, 1.
Even at best, could only leave himself middle distance on this red.
1.
But middle distance is very often near enough for Robertson, and possibly would have been for Dott.
Eight. Nine. Yep. Sixteen. 17. 24. 25.
'Should be able to pick off these three reds in a line in turn. This looks like the match-winning break.
31. 38. 39. 46.
Already well over the line.
47. 54.
I can tell you that Judd Trump is just about to clinch a 3-1 win over Matthew Stevens on the other table. He's 2-1 up and in play with 70 odd.
55.
'Very nicely judged Cannon to improve the position of the red which was on the cushion.
61.
Robertson now in pursuit of a century.
62.
Which would be his 68th of the season. He already holds the record for a season with 67, superseding the previous record of 61 which Judd Trump set last season.
69. 70. 76.
Oh, how careless.
76, frame on the match, near Robertson.
Bang goes century number 68, at least for the moment.